Greetings Autobots and welcome back. I thought I would make a bit of an impromptu ramble video tonight as I recently started painting Warhammer 40k miniatures, and I'm actually a bit of a fan of Warhammer 40k, though I may not have mentioned that in any videos. So I thought I would just take this time here that I have with you today to make a little impromptu video showcasing my first ever painted minis and just this cool new set of minis I got for my dream army. So let's get started. Now we're going to show you my very first painted miniature. This is the very first mini I ever painted, ever. This is Von Lyconis, as I've nicknamed him. He is an Infernus Space Marine who is looking a little bit rough around the edges. Yeah, I know, he's a little bit rough and the painting's not as good as on the box, but for my first ever miniature, I'm very proud of how he's come out. The detail on him is quite nice. I'm especially proud of how I got this little golden crest in the middle and the pauldrons. The pauldrons are great in my opinion. Though if I could just touch up a few little bits here, I would clean up this pauldron and the fists. As for the eyes, now I'm used to Space Marines having red eyes, but I thought I would give this guy red eyes because the other Marines just have black ones. So I said, you know what, since he's the first, I'm going to make him the unofficial leader of the squad. So Lyconis has a special set of red eyes. And if I can just zoom in, because the details are... Focus camera. Focus. Yeah, it's about as well as it can focus. All these little details I've hand painted. Every part of it here. I've landed a little bit of earth shade on this barrel here just to make it pop a bit more. But even though it's very imperfect and there's a lot of scuff with this miniature, I'm very proud of how it's turned out, especially in regards to just the general look of it. Now, I prime my miniatures, specifically my Space Marines, I prime these guys using a grey, whitish primer, and then I coated the entire thing blue. Well, for this one, I did it piece by piece, which you can maybe sort of tell. I'm not sure. Again, go easy on me. I'm not very good at painting. I've just started, but I do enjoy it. But yeah, just get a look around. I just need to coat. What I'm going to do is colour the rest of this like jet black and do the dirt colour around here that's being used for this base. But yeah, that was my first ever Warhammer 40k mini and I had a blast painting this guy. I remember sitting down for hours on end just painting away, happy as Larry. Nothing in the world could bother me. It was a grand old time. Now we move on to the remaining two Marines of this pack, and these ones you can probably see a marked improvement. There's a few little scuffed elements here, but you can just tell from the general look of it. Now, I do need to colour in these pouches, so I'm not sure what colour I should use for them, because I do have an earth shade, but that's more of a shader, that's not a base colour. So I'll probably just get some brown or whatever from my local hobby shop and paint the patches. But I'm very proud of how this one's come out in particular, especially how the paint looks around the that was scary, around the fuel drum and the actual main barrel, how the earth shade makes it look a bit weathered. Just some very exquisite detail, you know, for such small figurines. The detail on them is quite impressive. I'm especially in awe of how well the eyes came out. Just that little lick of black there gives it so much personality. Though I do wish these Marines had a little bit more detail. I mean, these are just basic Space Marines, so they're not going to be as detailed as, say, Gilliman or the Ultramarines or any of the other Astartes chapters, but I am still very fond of how this guy's come out. It was a blast to paint them, and I really think that my technique, though still flawed and in need of improvement over time, I'm really happy with how this guy's come out. Because I'm not expecting perfection, but I want them to look good. And for what it's worth, I think I did a pretty decent wee job on this fella. Especially like how well the chest detail comes out. And you can even see there the little bits of black around the... I'm not even sure what you would call those bits. The inner mesh. Because you have the main body of the armour, then you've got the mesh. And for my last miniature, we have this one here. And I think of all the ones, this is definitely the smoothest. You can tell I'm really starting to sort of hit my stride with the basic technique of painting, though there's still just a few more little quirks, so to speak. Just the pauldrons are a bit messy, and I need to run a bit of Balthazar Gold and Earthshade around this just to fill in those little white sections of the Flamer or the Pyreblaster. So it's very hard to focus. But yeah, we just have some very, very nice looking minis, and I'm very happy with how they've turned out. You know, like I said, it's not about painting the perfect minis right from the get-go. It's about having fun doing it. And you can have yourself a pretty awesome squad of Space Marines. So do you know what? Just have fun. That's the rule, I'd say. So I'll just pop my little squad over here. But yeah, to answer your question, you're probably asking, what army do you play? I don't play that much 40k, though. I'm looking to get into the game. I'm a fan of pretty much all the factions. I think they're all cool, but my number one favourite is the Black Templars. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Black Templars in 40k are a non-codex compliant chapter that are loyalists to the Emperor and the Imperium, but their loyalty is on a religious, almost zealotry kind of scale, where they venerate the Emperor as a literal god and go on holy crusades in his name. And I just think that's absolutely awesome, and it's shown in their armour. They almost look like knights from the Great Crusades in history. It's freaking awesome looking. So you have here different types of Black Templars. You have, I think, I'm not sure if that's a chaplain, but you've just got basic Crusaders. You've got ones with bolters, heavy bolters, chain swords, regular power swords. They've all got these really cool little decorations on them you can see on the box. It's kind of hard because the glare of my light is in the road. But yeah, this little set here is a Crusader squad, and it comes with 10 miniatures, though I do need to get the paints for them, and this is pretty much what they're going to look like. You have your different variants that you can build, so you can have a variant with an axe, a mini flamer, you can have ones with chain swords. It's really up to you. I think there's a sort of assembly feature where you can just clip them on, but I heard from a friend that it's a case of once the pieces are on, that's it, you just kind of have to commit to it, which is a bit disappointing, but hey, it is what it is. You still get 10 really good miniatures though, which is a good way to start your army. I especially dig this fella here with the sword and the, looks like almost an incense burner or something on the top. But just the level of detail that's packed into these miniatures is superb. Think of the most detailed Transformer, but shrunk down to like a 10th the size. That's pretty much Warhammer miniatures or Wargaming miniatures. And I've been thinking I would love to do some Warhammer painting videos, so I suppose if people are interested in this little video, even though I'm not really doing anything, just more so rambling, maybe you guys would be down to see me painting a Black Templars mini, or even just do a sort of Orobot shows you how to paint, or Orobot paints a Warhammer miniature. Because I am looking to get an introductory set for some rule books, as well as just a book on how to play the game in general. But I'm really hoping that over time I can learn how to play the game, because it is really fun. It's one of those games that you can just get yourself lost in for like an hour, hours on end. It's amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. This was a pretty impromptu video. I'm looking at my schedule here. I have a video that's in the process of uploading right now, so hopefully that'll be up and ready for you guys in no time flat. But I'm tired. I'm gonna go have a sleep. So, with all that being said, Zorobot ASMR, signing off for the night. Autobots, transform and roll out to bed. For the Imperium and the Emperor.